Hello traders. I'm going to give you a quick review of my trade I took this morning and show you what my stats are for my 20 account Apex 20 account trading that I started on January 6th. So first, I have this set up in Sierra charts only because I can replay it. And I can replay it at a little faster speed, and I like how Sierra chart replays it. And by the way, I know it's probably hard to see me. I don't think that really matters, but I need to get a different blind for this window, and I'm working on it. But so we're gonna start here, and we are looking at this is just before open. My trade, I think, initiated around 9:39, and I'll kind of walk you through. As we get closer, I'll slow it down. But let's get started. Let's do one thing here really quick. Put a countdown timer on here. This is a 1-minute chart. I traded off the 1-minute chart, so this will jump pretty quick because I'm on a 5x speed. So here we are about 9:26. Let's see, we're looking at 9:30 right here. So we're a few minutes before 9:30. Let me speed this up just a little bit. Okay, here's our 9:30 candle right here. So we go down, we sweep this liquidity right here. And then we start moving up. And what I want you to see, I didn't mean to stop that. Oh. Let's go back to 9:30 again. I don't use Sierra charts very often. I do like the replay much better. I've been using it a long time. I just like TradingView because it's so user friendly. But I do like the things I can do with Sierra charts. What I did is I hit stop instead of pause. So there's my 9:32 candle. And we're going to go, there's 9:33 candle. And so let's just jump over to here really quick. This is my right here. This is my trade. And you can see it was about 9:36 or so that I got into that we created a fair value gap. We will come back to that. This right here, let's see, rectangle. I gotta learning how to do this stuff. It's a little more clunky. So this is what we call the 9:30 fair value gap. This was created after the 9:30 open. The 9:30 fair value gap, or first fair value gap, usually is very significant. And so as we watch this, we can see it never does come back down and enter into this. That is a very bullish signature. Okay, so let's look at this again. There's 938, and if you notice, let's spread this out just a little bit. We have another fair value gap. Right there. Up, 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 up. Right there, basically. So we have another fair value gap. So we never came back down into this one. And so it was about here. I said, okay, I'm going to place a trade. And so what I did is I placed a trade to go long. We'll just do a horizontal line. Right there. And so let's move on. Okay, so here's what I'm watching right there as we progress in this trade. Is two things. Is I'm looking at the CE, the 50% level of this fair value gap, and what I'm looking for is to see, do we have any sign of these price wanting to close down inside of this fair value gap? And so on this bar, I entered right here. It went down to maybe around 50%, rejected, came back up. And then I'm going to slow this down. And so if we watch this, and by the way, let's put on some see if I can put on some lines here. A couple lines I want to put on. One right there. And these aren't absolutely accurate, but we will revisit these when we go to the other charts. So this is liquidity that I'm looking at. This is a 15-minute chart. So I'm looking at, and I believe this was Asia high right here. And so I'm looking at profit target 1, profit target 2. Let's go back to 1 minute. So we can, there's my trade right there. I entered right here. There's profit target 1, there's profit target 2. So what I'm watching right now is, in my stop, my stop was about right here. On the picture I'm going to show you later, shows a little bit lower, but I had about a 60 tick stop. So we're just moving along, and I believe we dropped down into this. See that one? It came way down, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't get a little nervous right here. But it didn't stay there long, and it rejected pretty quick. And this is in real time. These are now 1 minute bars replaying at 1 minute. So we've come down 3 times. The other thing to notice, or to note, let's pause this. Vertical line right here. We have news right here. Okay, so we have news right here. This is 10 o'clock, red news. Let's get her going again. We can speed this up just a little bit here. So I'm watching this, and what I'm waiting for, what I'm looking for is any signs, any signs of bearishness. Failure to enter this fair value gap, and then failure to want to close in this fair value gap. It tells me that this is very bullish, and we're most likely going to come up and hit some of these targets. And I believe I was in this about 10 minutes before I saw significant movement away. Again, I'll show you that on my drawing. So we're just dancing around. We're just kind of going sideways, still failing to close inside of this fair value gap. So we'll speed this up just a little bit. So now we're coming back into this fair value gap again. But if you notice, we failed to close. This bar failed to close inside this fair value gap. Come down and we revisit it again. Failed to close. So right here, I'm going to tell you that I am very, very bullish about this, because the price can't seem to get below this fair value gap and can't get below this point right here. And I believe, wait, let's see if we can go back and look at this. There was another Oh, I did the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that. So here's a level that I had also identified. I don't have it marked out on the other chart. But this also, again, what I'm looking for is, I take that back. Here's where it was at, right here. Okay. So I had a point of liquidity right here. It came up and took that liquidity. It did that with displacement. This is a displacement creating a fair value gap. Can't come down and cannot close in this fair value gap. So we'll start again, get going again. And what you're going to see happen here Okay, so this is very significant. We got another big bar right now, another displacement bar. And if we were to look at the close of this bar right here, it closed above the highest level there. That tells me, again, we're bullish. So I'm okay holding this trade. And we can speed this up quite a bit. And what we're looking for is that's our first profit target. We did come down a little bit. The other thing I was monitoring was this wick. Wicks tends to be gaps. We closed above the 50% level of that wick with that bar. Again, more confidence that we're bullish. More indications that we're bullish. And this is around 21,565, and bang, there we go. There's first profit. I only was trading 2 contracts, two micros. So here we are coming upon 10 o'clock news. I was a little bit nervous here because it was 10 o'clock news, but I was pretty confident that we were going to come up and take this Asian high. And so this was, we can remove this. As you can see, we came up and took the Asian high. And so I'm out of the trade. Right there, I am out of this trade. It was 21,600. I am out, and I am profitable for the day. So let's look at this on on my journal entry. This is what I saved in my journal. Price could not close in the fair value gap. That's bullish. We had 3 levels of liquidity right here. We went through all 3 of these, and you notice on this level of liquidity right here, we never did, well, we did just maybe by a tick or so close below that. And then we couldn't, and by the way, these yellow bars and orange bars are indicators that I use to, if it's a bar that is bigger than, I believe it's like 20 bars in the past, that basically helps me see displacement. So we have displacement here, creating this fair value gap, which we never come back into. We have this displacement here, which created this fair value gap. I'm pretty confident at this point we're bullish, so I place a entry right there. We get filled right there. And we never do really close below this buy-side liquidity. And we just go up, and there's my 50%, 565, 1 contract off, and there's our Asia high, 21,600. That's where we were at. So that was my trade. Now let's talk about what I did right and what I did wrong. One of the things I did wrong, well, let's see if we can find it here. One of the things I did wrong, this is my dashboard for TradeZilla. One of the things I did wrong is that I trade 20 PA accounts. And I don't know if I got anything open. I trade 20 PA accounts. So when I set my Apex trade copier up this morning, I set it up on the wrong instrument. So instead of trading it on NQ, I set it up on ES. So then when I entered a trade, as you can see, only there's my 20 accounts right there. I only made money on 1 account today, this one right here. I realized that about right here. I kind of looked at my profit and I was going to determine, do I stay in it or I just close it all out? I was still pretty confident after, because I was I can't lie, I'm a little bit nervous right here going into news. So I was looking to see, should I close both my positions out right there, or should I leave one open? When I did, I noticed I'm not trading 20 accounts. I'm only trading one account. So as you can see on this one account, after commissions, I made $340. Okay. So one thing I have learned over the years in trading is that if for some reason, so because if you think about that, 340 times 20 accounts, that's just under $6,500. I in my mind, I should have had a $6,500 day, and I didn't. And I know in the past, that's when I start wanting to revenge trade, because I feel like the market owes me that, because I only got 340. Now, that's not true. If you think about it, logically it doesn't make sense, but that's how our brain works. So if you look at the live trading this morning, I went and locked my platform out and I got out. So let's look at my dashboard in TradeZilla. This is from January 6th to February 4th. And I'll just make this short and sweet. I haven't been live streaming over this month. I think I live streamed on January 6th, but I haven't been since then. And the reason for that is because I just have had a really hard time breaking myself of the habit of watching a live streamer while I trade. And what I know and what I've come to realize, and this didn't just pop up this like today, I've been realizing this for about 6 months, is that when I have somebody live streaming that I'm watching at the same time, I'm more focused on when they're going to enter and when they're going to close than what the actual market's going to do. So I made a decision after yesterday that I was going to go live and stream without any other streams running in the background. Because there comes a point with every trader where you've got to realize that you've got to learn your own skills and develop your own path to successful trading. If you're always going to copy, I mean, there's some people that make good money copy trading, but you'll never make great money copy trading. If you want to make great money, you've got to develop these skills within yourself. And so today was my journey. And by the way, I did not trade according to my plan, and I'll go over that really quick. But if you look at my last, this is since January 6th. Okay, I started off with a bang. I had a $350 week. By the way, this only shows one account. I don't list all 20 accounts. This is just one account. So I was up 350, then I was up to 29, then I lost 211, I lost 158. And so I started going, and then yesterday I lost 241. Today I got 340. So if you look at, and this isn't totally correct, but I'm up about $300. So that's where we're at. This trade review, or looking at this trade, what I did right is I used, my setup was an fair value gap. I typically will trade IFVGs, inverted fair value gaps. But I saw this trade, I liked it, I took it, and so it was a good choice. Mistakes that I made, I had a logistical error, which I explained to you. I hit my profit target 1 and profit target 2. I was trading the 1 minute. Search and destroy conditions that I didn't really note any. Doesn't mean there weren't any, but I didn't note any. We had 10 o'clock red news. Same profit target 1, profit target 2. That's my exit. What I did right, I closed my platform. I did not live stream, and I only made one trade. My emotions were at about a 2 when I entered the trade. My entry trigger was a fair value gap pullback, and this was the AM session. New York AM session. And then environmental, I was live streaming. I wasn't watching anybody streaming. I was live streaming. So there you go, folks. That's it for the day. I wish you the best. There was a good setup, by the way, and I have not really dug into it yet. But there was a good setup at the lunch macro. The lunch macro happens between 11:30 and around 1 o'clock, going into the 2 o'clock hour. But if you look at this, and if you look at the direction the market has been going up until 11:30 is up, that means the lunch macro tends to go the other direction. It goes reverses. If you look at this, if we were to look at, and by the way, I haven't really looked at this, so I'm just kind of going off the cuff. We have a 3-minute fair value gap right here. We have a 1-minute fair value gap. There's a 30-second fair value gap. I kind of like that one. So if we were to look at this and we were to say, we could invert this. This would have been more or less a losing trade. But the thing to look at is your let's go back to the 1 minute, is basically, I think I totally lost where I was at. Okay, right here, noon, 11:30. We're from here. Yep, I'm on again. Here we are, open down here. We move up, 11:30. We now move down. So what we have right here is a fair value gap that was created. And again, I haven't dug into this, so I don't know what liquidity we might have swept. Looks like we're trading up into a fair value gap. But anyway, this would have been a 1-minute IFVG. Right there. Literally would have entered this trade possibly right there. It's hard to say because I'm not in the moment. I would have probably had a stop of around 50 ticks, and it's kind of hard to say is where you would take profit, but you could easily made 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, depending how you played it and you managed your trade. Anyway, folks, hey, have a great day. I appreciate you. Subscribe, like this video, and I will be live again tomorrow. Will not be live Thursday. This is a non-farm payroll week. At this point, I don't believe I'll be live, but I appreciate all your support. And until tomorrow, be blessed.